Hello folks. So let's start with an introduction of explaining what is Townsheets. You're probably here because you want to know how to play. You might already know what the game is, but basically Townsheets is, what can I say? Townsheets is a single player tabletop medieval graph paper city simulator, and it's possibly the greatest single player tabletop graph paper medieval city simulator that's ever been made. So let's play it. It's fun. Okay, so what do you need to play? Well, to start off, since you're a beginner, I suppose, I'm the only person who isn't a beginner. This is the rule sheet. You'll want to print this out. Probably you can possibly keep it on your computer, but the idea of the game is that you can play it anywhere that you have graph paper, a pencil, and eraser. That's it. That's all you need to play. That's what hopefully makes the game extra cool. It's because once you learn the rules, and I know there's a lot of rules here, but they're logical. So once you can remember these rules, if you can play a city sim game and you don't have to like constantly second guess, can I do this? Then you can remember these rules. If you can do that, you can play this game anywhere. I think it's especially great for when you're stuck in a classroom or an office. You're not allowed to use your phone or whatever, and you're bored because you know the thing already. And what are you going to do? You're going to play Townsheets, and it's going to be fun. But even if you don't have that kind of time in your life, I still think it's a fun game. So I recommend it. Give it a try. So let's get started. So to use this effectively, though, another thing I recommend having is some kind of movable object, like a coin. I like to use these 5 yen coins. 5 yen coins are cool because they have a little hole in the middle, and they're a good size. Let me show you the hole. Let's see, there's a hole there. Cool, huh? That's kind of nice. It makes it easier to move with a pencil, which feels good. And you can also kind of like see what's underneath at the same time when it's on top of it. Otherwise, I think like in US money, a dime is a good size. It's like a smaller coin, maybe a penny. Is good. Okay. But later on, you'll be able to use something like this to keep track of where you are in the game, and you won't need this big setup. But at first, using this is kind of fun. I like the way it looks. I think it looks cool. Look, there's like a sword here. Isn't that cool? There's a skull. I apologize if the skull is too scary. Okay, so let's take another look at the game sheet. After watching this video, I encourage you to read through the game sheet just once. You don't have to read really carefully. Just one time. That'll help you to remember. Like, oh, I saw a thing in here. I remember where that is. It's in here somewhere. Oh, I found it. It'll be a lot easier as long as you read through one time. Okay, let's take a look. So it's divided into a few areas. Let's start off with here is the season meter. You'll keep track of what you're doing. So the game is broken up into seasons. The season is when you do stuff, and it has seven parts. And you can put a coin here whenever you finish each part. Okay, and here is a quick explanation of what the season is. Okay. Over here are the meters. So we've got hard to aim my finger. We've got. Okay, I can't move. Weird. Okay. Anyway, that's like what season you're on. You can see there's like spring 1, winter 2, whatever. This is the famine meter. This is how close you are to a famine. So you'll start off here, and then some things will make you move this way. And if you go this way one more, oh no, you're in a famine. Oh no. And then you'll read this part. Let's see. You'll read this part to see what you got to do, and bad stuff will happen. And And over here is a siege meter. You'll start here and gradually move this way. And then if you can't move any further, oh no, you're in a siege. Oh no, I'll have to read this stuff and see what I gotta do when bad stuff's happening. Oh no, poop. Okay. Right up here is the different building types. So you've got the things that well, it's basically divided into like the buildable buildings and the houses, the homes. The homes have different types, and the buildings have different effects. So almost every building has an effect that it creates on the neighboring tiles. A tile is just like a cell in the grid paper, but I call them tiles, as most games do. So like if you've got a building here, if you've got a well here, it creates the effect of hydrated all around it in the area of 1 around it. So buildings have different effects, and buildings also require different effects. So it's a simple way of saying, like, well, if you're not near a place of drinking water, your life kind of sucks. Sorry, that's a big bummer. So like, and if you're not in that kind of area, things are not going so well. You can't really have like a big bustling city with lots of people in one area if you're not meeting their needs. If you have a lot of people, maybe they can take care of themselves. If it's just a few people, if it's a ton of people, things are going to get bad. So you need to keep track of those effect areas. Okay. What else do we have here? We have the last part I didn't explain. Well, we also have a little glossary here, just a quick reference, like the most common words. And then we have the rule area, like all the extra rules. With the nice thing here is that like the keywords are in bold when you're like looking up something related to like a specific building or like removing or something. Just look for the keywords. You'll see the bolded words, and then oh, famine, oh, cesspools, removed, moved, oh, relocated. Oh, okay. So look for the keywords, and you can find things easily that way. And finally, we have lots of diagrams. We have a diagram about the starting, about how to save your game if you need to quit, what to do about ruins, road diagram, what do roads do, how are they different from a path, raid example, removing roads, fortress diagram, and a castle diagram, they're different, tallying system that I like to use as an example, winning and losing, which it's a simulation game, but you can definitely lose for sure. And you can win if you set your own goals, kind of thing. And a tribute example, which is related to when a siege happens on your city. Okay, so those are the main parts here. Okay, so next part, let's look at a season and start the game. Thank you for continuing to watch. Let's lay out our coins. I'm going to lay it out here. Unfortunately, this got a little warped when I used my private little laminator, but it still works. It's just not as flat as I wish it would be. Okay, we're going to start out like this. I'm going to put the coin in the middle, but let me show you here. Sorry about the weird camera thing. You can see I've put the coin at the beginning of the season. I put the coin here. The coin here. And we haven't started yet. Actually, so take that off. We haven't started yet. Let's start the very first season. So after doing it, spring 1. After doing the action, move the coin to the action on the side. Well, what am I on now? What part am I on? I'm on the farm part now. Okay. Actually, it's a little too soon because we haven't set up a city yet. Take this off. First, it's not a city, it's a town. Let's set up our beginning of our town. So you'll see here, oh, where is that? The starting diagram. Okay. This is how to first build a city. I like to say town, not city. Town. Okay. So as it says, you'll need 2 farms and 1 beginning path. Paths are important. We always build around paths, basically. And we're going to have 2 people, our first residents, placed appropriately. Okay. I'm going to start off. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to use this mechanical pencil. Okay. Okay, so 2 farms. And you have a choice where you can either use the letter or you can use like a stylized picture. If you use a different picture, I suggest making a little key so you can remember in the future. I like for example, like if you draw your quarries differently, just draw a little picture at the bottom and say this is a quarry. That way you can resume play later. Okay, starting off with a farm, another farm, and a path with 4 points. Okay, take a look at that. Okay, now we need to add our 2 people. Where can the 2 people go? Well, they can go in the buildable area. This path creates a buildable area all around it. It also creates a path effect, which means basically we can build another path next to another path. But we can't build another path randomly over here. It has to be connected to another path. Roads must be connected. Okay, so we've got our 2 people. Let's put them on top. On the very top up here. And we have a choice. We can put them together or separately. Now let's put them together into a 2 people hut. 1, 2. Okay. Simple. See that? Here you go. 2 people. Okay. Next up. So that's the first setup. We haven't played yet, but we're going to advance, do the first part of the season, move the season meter and follow it. Advance it to spring 1 from nowhere, and then move your season meter to season, because we finished this first part. We finished moving the season meter. Next part, it says farms. What does that mean? So you've got your 2 farms here. Farms make food. You got your food. That's cool. 2 food. 1 for each farm. And let's think about your people as kind of a simple folk. So if they don't use the food, if they don't eat it and then burn it, the energy, and make something, what they're going to do is they're going to reproduce. So either you can use your 2 food for some kind of building, like when you have 1 build move, you can use it, or it's going to turn into people. So the first part, farms, is your first free build move. So let's think about it. We got 2. We can build something. What costs 2 food? Let's take a look. Well, path costs 1 food, or you can spend wealth too. Or a farm costs 2 food, or well costs 2 food. Let's start out with just another path to begin with. So that our city feels a little bigger, I'm going to build a little path here. I'm going to kind of circle the road so it looks more like a path. It doesn't look like much yet, but as it builds more, we're going to see more. Well, looks like a city, looks like a town. Okay, so that concludes our farm move. Move the coin to a farm. Next part, it says mine. We don't have any quarries yet, so nothing to do there. Continuing on, assign. So we had 2 food. We spent 1 on the path. 1 person left. 1 food left makes 1 person. Let's see. Can we make a 3-person hut? Let's look at the 3-person hut. It says it requires. So buildable. All of the above means it requires buildable, right? And hydrated and not unsafe. Well, it's not unsafe. There's nothing here making it unsafe, but it's not hydrated. There's no well, so we can't make a 3-person well. So let's add our 1 person in over here, maybe. Okay. But now that I know I can build a 3-person home with a well, I want to build a well. So we finished our assigning. We don't have anything to spend. There's no wealth. There's no fortress. There's no wealth. We can't raid. We don't have a barracks, and we can't collect because there's no fortress to store our wealth. So let's continue. Advance the season meter. Summer 1. Bring the season coin back up to season. Because we're starting a new season. Woo! Okay. Summer 1. Alright, so again, count our farms. It's 1, 2, isn't it? 2 food. Let's spend those 2 food and build a well. I'm going to put the well over here. wells are pretty cool. They do two things, which is nice. Two effects. Oops, two effects. One effect is that they create a hydrated area within an area of 2. All of this area has just become hydrated. Anybody who lives around here can access this well. But it also creates a buildable area right around here. That's nice too. Okay. Next up. Well, we've used our farm move. We've left it 0. That means we can't assign anything. And there's no mine, nothing to spend, nothing to rate and reflect. Well, let's just advance to fall 1 next season. The game is the opposite of real life in that when you first start playing, time moves very slowly, and the season goes very fast. And as it gets more complicated, things move very. Wait, I said that backwards. It's the opposite of real life in that time moves very fast at the beginning. Nothing much to do in a season, and then as it gets later, the seasons are a lot more complicated, and time feels a lot slower. So, like I said. Anyway, we've got our 2 farms. We've got a well. We can build a 3-people hut. Next up, I want to build, well, these people, they gotta take care of their business. I want to build a place where they can do that. They can dump things sanitarily, create a sanitized zone by giving them a place to put their poop. That's nice. We don't have any, sewers are an expensive thing, especially in the medieval age. It's not something you can just, build. But we can build a cesspool, which is nice. It'll be a lot better for these people. Cesspool costs 5 food or 5 wealth. We've only got 2 farms here, so we're going to need more farms. So why don't we spend our 2 food on a farm? So in our first part, let's complete our farm action, our first action. Build another farm. Ta-da! 1, 2, 3 farms. Nice. Okay. And again, just like when we built the well, we're left with 0. There's nothing else to do. There's no fortress with money in it. So let's advance to the first winter. The first winter is not a good time. It's a time when people are worried. Maybe there's not enough food. When people are worried, they're thinking about, maybe we gotta do drastic measures. Maybe we gotta invade the village next door, take their food. So it's a time when people think about war. You have to advance the siege meter. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay. So we've done that first part. We've moved the season meter and followed it. So let's look at the farm meter. The farm. There's no farm meter. Let's look at the farms. We've got 1, 2, 3 food. 3 contains 2, doesn't it? So we can build another farm. Try to go for that 5. Move the coin to assign. So again, if we had 3, we have 1 left. It would be kind of cool if we could build another road, but we don't have the manpower and materials. Well, we don't have the materials to do that. We would need a quarry to do that. We don't have a quarry yet. So that extra one has to go into the town as a person. So the remaining one, let's put it here. Let's build our first 3-people hut. It's hydrated, isn't it? We can build a 3-people hut. Cool, right? We got our first 3-people hut. Okay. Nothing to spend, nowhere to raid, nothing to collect. Going on to spring 2. Ta-da! Okay. 4 food. We cannot build 2 farms because we can only have 1 build move. Let's build 1 farm. Okay. 1 farm. Got 1 more farm on there. And 4 minus 2. By the way, I didn't mention before, but when I play, as it gets more complicated, I like to keep a little, like a ledger to keep track. So, you write down 4 minus 2. Okay, I've got 2 food left. How will I use it? But so far it's a small number. It's easy for me to keep track of in my giant brain. So we built another farm. Did we? Yes, we did. We did. We just reached 5. I know that. And yeah, don't lose track. Actually, let's stop for a second. If you do lose track, just remember this is a single player game, and the idea is to have fun. I'm working on a multiplayer version where you'll have to follow the rules more closely because you're being competitive. But if you mess up a rule at one point, don't just throw your map away. Just make up a story that makes it make sense. Like maybe somebody misplaced the food. Maybe there was a windfall and something cool happened. And, you got a nice bonus somehow. So it's single player, meant to be fun for you. Anyway, I didn't lose track. I know I just built 5. If I had 5 before, I would have built a quarry, but I just built the 5th farm. So, and I know I had 4 before, and as I was saying, moving the point now, I now have 2 people to assign. I can't build a level 4 here because I'm not yet sanitized. So I'm going to build 2 more people and I'll put them over here. Okay, so you see, now we have 2 level 3 houses. Okay. Building up. Nothing to spend, nothing to raid, nothing to collect. Let's advance the next season. Next season is summer, second summer. That's a good time. That's a big bounty. So we've made a lot of food. We have a choice. We can either fatten up and put the famine meter back, but we can't do that now because our famine meter is at the very start, so we can't put it back. But we have another option. We can share the food, create an atmosphere of peace, have a big inter-village festival. That's a happy time, and that reduces the siege meter. You're not that likely to go invade and kill someone if you're just eating dinner at their house. Usually you feel like you have to wait a little while before you can go, kill them. So sharing your food makes people less warlike. You can move the siege meter back. I did that. Since I've already moved the season, I'm on to the farm part, and I've got 5. That means I can build a cesspool. And 5, the cost of the cesspool is 5, so 5 food minus 5, 0. Cesspool. We've got our cesspool now. I built it over there because I wanted to create areas where it's both hydrated and sanitized. So this area is a nice place to live. It's not only can you go over here and drink your water, you can go over here and dump out your what are those boxes called? I forgot the name. But yeah, dump those out, the poop boxes, which is nice. But it's only a limit of 2. You're not going to carry your poop box of 5 blocks away, and if you have to go that far, you're going to dump it in the street because you got to go about your life. So just remember, a cesspool has an effect of only range of 2. Okay, so now that we've got that built, I'd like to build up these houses more, but I can't yet because I've just spent all 5. I spent all 5 of them. I've finished my farm move, and there's nothing else to do because I've spent all the food. There's no gold, no fortress. So let's advance this fall too. Move the season meter back up. Okay, again we have 5. As I was mentioning before, a quarry would allow us to build multiple things. It would give us another build move on the mine part of the season, and that's nice. But we can't afford that just yet. We would need 10 food. So why don't we try to go for that? We have 5 food coming in. Let's spend 2 of that and build another farm. Okay. 5 minus 2 is 3. We don't have a quarry yet. We have to assign. So, but let's think about how we assign here. So right now, these little huts, they're sustaining themselves just on their own little land. They have their own little gardens, and maybe they've got some chickens, and maybe a pig or something. You know, they make their own food, and maybe they even gather. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that they are sustainable from their local land immediately, but when we go to a higher number, there's too many people to feed them from just this one tile. So, what does that mean? That means when we add in a person here, I'm going to do that. Well, that person immediately goes out and builds another farm. And you got to do this. The rules. So, now we have 3. Now we have 2 left. Let's do it again. Okay, they go out and they build another farm because they need food. And let's add this last person. We can go up. We can even finish a roof eventually if we want. So let's start building a roof here. 5 people here. Another farm. Okay, so what do you know? So now we've got this nice little village. How many people do we have? We've got 5 plus 4. We've got 9 people. Okay. And we've got 9 farms. That's nice. That's very close to 10. We can almost build our quarry. We finished the signing. No spending, no reading, no collecting. Let's advance to the next season. Winter. Oh no, it's a time of a small yield. It's the same for you. You're a lord, but the people are worried. They notice a difference, and there's not as much to eat. And the famine meter advances. That's a shame. Okay, done that. So we can move our season meter on. And next part is the farm. We've got 9. 9 is not 10. I wish it was, but it's not 10. We're not quite at the point where we can build a quarry. I didn't mention yet, but farms create an area of effect around them that I just call farm effect, which basically means that you can build a farm next to another farm. I'm sure you've noticed now I was doing that. Not all buildings do that. Generally they don't. Generally they require a road or some buildable area. They require a buildable effect, basically. Exactly. So, but farms allow you to do that. That's nice. Okay. As I was saying, we've got 9 coming in. So let's see. Well, we don't have to build a farm because we can do that by adding in people. So let's build a cesspool, perhaps. Another cesspool or another path. How about another path? Try to make our city bigger. Okay, I built another path here. I used our farm move. Okay, no quarries yet either, so we're going to be assigning next. And that means we're assigning 8 people. And if we finish up this roof here, we've got 7 people left to assign, but that means we can build another farm for free. Okay, cool, free farm. 7 more people to add. Let's see. Well, let's put them up here by the well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Well, that's sloppy. I'm writing in a weird way. Sorry about that. But you can see I put them above the well. Okay. We finished the signing. Nothing to spend, nothing to raid, nothing to collect. Okay, advance to spring 1. And if you didn't know, time is a circle of 2 years. Just remember that. Now you know. Okay, going back to season 1, we've got our 10 farms. 10 farms is how much a quarry costs. What does a quarry require? A quarry must be hydrated and sanitized and buildable. So, where is that? Can you see? Can you tell me where that is? That's right between the well and the cesspool. Okay. It's buildable. It's next to a well and next to a path. Both create buildable. And it's hydrated and it's sanitized. So let's build our quarry. We're going to use all 10 of our food. to build that quarry. And I like to build it a stylized way. If you want, you can write a Q instead, but I like to draw a little picture of a little hole where people are going to dig up rocks. Anyway, so that's the quarry. And nothing wrong is gonna happen, right? Nothing's bad. Or is there? So we finished our farm move. We can't use the mine yet. There's no food to feed our workers. Nothing to assign. But regardless of that, we made a mistake. No, I made a mistake. Well, I did it on purpose, but regardless, this quarry is next to a level 4 building. And if you look at the requirements for a level 4 building, it says, well, all above and sanitized. All above includes, all above again, buildable, and hydrated, and not unsafe. Not unsafe. Next to a quarry. So what is a quarry? A quarry is a big hole, basically. Big area that's being dug out. And that's going to undermine the foundation of any larger structure. So that means this is going to collapse. Now if we had some wealth saved, maybe we could relocate it. We don't have any wealth. If we had a barracks, we could bust up this house and just spread the people out. We don't have a barracks. We can't force them to leave, even though their house is going to collapse. So there's nothing we can do. It's going to become a ruin. And to indicate a ruin, I just use a X. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. So, what happens to a ruin? Well, if you look at the rules, well, exactly what does it say? Let's see. If you have 5 wealth stashed, you can pay to remove the ruin. Well, actually, you can pay to, remove it, but we don't. And otherwise, the ruin becomes a cesspool at the very beginning of the next season. That's going to be very bad. Let's see what happens. Okay. We can't spend anything, nothing to raid, nothing to collect. We're going to do summer 1. Okay. Let's use our eraser. I have this nice eraser. I'll try to erase as best I can. Make it into a cesspool. So, you shouldn't poop next to a well. That's a bad idea. That's how people get diseases. So this well, and people have known this for history. It's not a new information, People knew this in the Middle Ages too. You don't want to drink from a poopy well. This well has become a cesspool too. It immediately becomes a cesspool. And that makes sense because, right next to it is a cesspool. Oh dear. Oh boy. That means a number of buildings have become unsupported. These two, they're not next to anything buildable and they're not hydrated. That's bad. One nice thing about huts is that you can relocate them at any time. You're the lord. You can just say move it and they can't fight you. So let's relocate them. Okay, this area is not hydrated, but I've moved them over here. Okay. Again, we have to move this one too. Only build level 2 homes because it's not hydrated. We can't, this is a house. It's got walls. If we had a barracks, we can bust it up with our soldiers, but we don't have a barracks. Just one person, you can't really make a person tear down their house. Unfortunately, though, it's going to fall into ruin. So it's not hydrated. Yeah, we can't save it on this action. It becomes a ruin too. Dang. Okay. Well, we've got 10 people to add in here. 10 people. Let's see. Well, we can build something. Might be nice. We could try to take up a lot of our food with building something. We could try to build a... Let's try to save this town. Let's build a quarry that'll use up 10. Okay, so at least we don't have to build any more things. Oh wait, no, this is bad. The quarry is unsupported, isn't it? There's no well. We couldn't. I apologize, I made a mistake. I'm going back. I can't build a quarry here. There's no well. In fact, this quarry, being unsupported, has just become a ruin as well. It's just a poopy water hole. Just like the rest. Well, it's not yet. It's ruined. It's going to become a poopy water hole. Well, that sucks. Okay. 10 people. What can we build? We could build another cesspool that uses 5 of the food. Let's build another path. Maybe another path will give us enough space. Okay, let's try that. Decrease our farm loop. Quarries are ruined, we can't use them. Let's assign 9 people to this map. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm now out of space where I can safely assign people. So each time I assign someone, the place is going to be ruined. Maybe I should have built a well instead. So we got 4, 5, that's a ruin. 6, it's a ruin. 7, it's a ruin. 8, it's a ruin. 9, it's also a ruin. Oh, how about that? Every place is ruined. So that's how to lose at townships. I'm not going to show you how to win because I want you to figure out the strategies for yourself. I want you to avoid the mistakes I have made and have fun building a successful city. So in the next part of the video, I'm going to show more successful towns and how to build up, how to use the other buildings, like your, for example, your walls, your quarries, your barracks, your markets, your reserved farms, your sashes, your double farms, your sewers, and your bathhouses. Okay. Check out below for a link to the subreddit, where I hope you can post your towns. I want to see them. You can also post them in the comments here. That's cool too. And I want to hear your questions, your comments. I've got a website here, also posted below. Check that out. Pretty soon we're going to have expansions, and there's also a way to donate money to me, which I would really appreciate. That would mean I can do this kind of thing full time. I've got other games, a couple other games that you can check out too. And that's all. Thanks for watching, and check out the next videos. Bye.